You are watching Profile, a recap. We're doing a review of season 1. We're looking at the good, the bad, what we have learned. Here it goes. Just a little insight about me. I've always wanted to be a motivational speaker because I recognize the importance of personal development, and that is the reason why I've created Leighnibor Academy, and one of our pilot projects is Profile. Profile is an interview program where we meet ordinary people who have some interesting stories that they have created through their life experiences. I wanted to create a platform where people can share their stories and use it to inspire others who are in a similar part in life. I've tried to start this program many times over the years. I was hesitant, I've doubts, never had the confidence somewhat. Most importantly, having a team to help pull it off. I was excited about finally bringing Profile to life. But I couldn't help but wonder, would anyone care? Could I reach out to people and have them come on a pilot program to share their stories? And would anyone watch it? I reached out to people in my connection and I shared the ideas with them. And I realized that these people, they liked the idea and they didn't let me down. Even though there was some skepticism, there were so many people who wanted to support Profile and took a leap of faith with me. People like RENITA, for example, someone who knows how valuable her time is. And she came to our studio and shared her story with enthusiasm. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Are you ready?
I was born ready.
Awesome. I like that.
No. You know what? There's that saying that if you're always ready, you don't have to get ready. So I'm always ready.
I like it. Our story was so received by everyone. One of the things that I know about you is that you are involved in so many different things. I wonder if you have 60 hours a day.
No.
Or the same 24 like me.
I wish. Yeah, it seems like that to some people. For me, the biggest thing about lifestyle of being an entrepreneur is having control of my time and being able to do what I want to do, when I want to do it, with whom I want to do it with. To be an entrepreneur, you have to really, really want to do what you're doing because it's going to take a lot of work. There's the glamorous aspects of it, of living a free life, yes. But in order to get to that point,
right,
you're putting in 18, 20 hours a day, just grinding away, and you might still have a full-time job as well, right? So there's a lot of sacrifice that goes into it. There's a lot of rejection. There's a lot of hard life lessons to learn. So I would say, you want to identify why you're doing it, because if you don't know why you're doing it, your customers aren't going to connect with what it is that you're trying to sell, whatever product or service you're trying to sell.
Each one of our guests was so open to share their story, and without them, we wouldn't have been where we are today. So thank you all. The program all started with ANAYA author. Hearing her speak with such passion and conviction at such a young age set the tone for the rest of the season.
It takes discipline, control, self-love and respect for others as well, not only just yourself, to decide to do what is right and to consistently do what is right. And that's the healing that is needed, to retrain the mind to remember what is right and do what is right, not just once, not just because you felt like it, but because you know it's right and therefore you do.
I remember when I started this program and I was looking for guests to be on the show. I went on social media. I remember I pounced on ANAYA's profile on Instagram and I saw that she is so focused on helping the world, giving back. I'm like, she's a good candidate. I would love to hear her story. I reached out to her and I told her about this pilot program that I want to start, and she was like, all right, yeah, I'll support you, I'll come. The first thing I remember she said to me was, I'm so nervous. And I'm like, don't worry about it. Let's just sit and chat. It's just a conversation, you know. And we started the program. The first thing I realized, I was the one that was nervous. I was shaking like a leaf.
Just gonna be nervous for the first 5, maybe 10 minutes.
Yes.
So we both have notes.
Yeah.
Can I see your notes?
That
Yeah.
one, the first one. All right.
But I want to say though that ANAYA, she made it so easy for me. And that interview, as I've said before, it created the stage for what Profile is today.
I'd like to give this earth, you know, a makeover. And I'd like to hand it to my children, that I'd like to have a healthy earth, not a sick one.
Thank you, ANAYA. Thank you. One of the things that I liked most about season 1 of Profile was how each guest managed to surprise me in one way or another. Take Gina Williams, for example. She's so talented in so many different ways, but I would have never expected that from someone who is so humble and easygoing.
And tell me all the secrets. You know what you get mine.
Gina is just full of vibes and energy. Keep singing, girl. Profile has given me the opportunity to connect with many different people who have made an impact in my life. One of those people is certainly Othmani. He's someone who knows the value of his story and knows how to use it to help others.
I broke down and
In prison.
in prison, and I was. It started when I went in this last time in prison. It happened. I know everyone in the unit in that jail.
You're a regular.
I become regular. You see, that broke me down too. And then I found out I'm getting old, and I can't get out of that lifestyle. And I don't want those kind of things. I want to be free. You know, from mental slavery, I think. But my problem was, for a long time, think I can get out from that by my own way.
And that was like a big mistake.
Yes, you gotta ask for help. You can't do this alone. You need help.
He's a giver and someone who should continue to be in front of people because he is a true inspiration.
We gotta love ourselves, you know. And if we love ourselves, it means we can't harm ourselves, right? And how we harm ourselves is how we spend our time. Do we connect with our loved one, like the people we care the most? And then when people need our help, do we take a time to put our efforts to help, you know? And if we don't, why not?
Keep touching lives and keep helping to make the world a better place. You are surely a wounded healer. I know it is hard to open up, especially to strangers, but in doing so though, you become more relatable and you are able to connect with others in a genuine and more compassionate way. Fatima is a master of this.
I like to help people make a difference in the world, and by helping them on their journey, I become a little bit of a part to that greater success, and I can influence the world by mentoring others.
Listening to her, from her experience, I realize we are more alike than we are different. And we do need to be more compassionate because we all are struggling in one way or another.
We're all interconnected and we need each other. And if we want the world to be a better place, we can't do it alone and we need others.
Thank you, Fatima, for sharing your story with me. Profile also showed us that it doesn't matter where people come from or how they started. We can all overcome those obstacles that hold us back and reach for whatever we want in our life. There is no better example than this, than DARRON HASTICK.
I came to Canada when I was 21.
Okay.
You know, and then my first job was janitorial. I would work janitorial work at nights. I start using the power of the internet, start learning about financial literacy, start learning about investing in stocks, started learning about real estate, printed this card, and I go around to people and like, I'm a real estate investor, I'm a real estate investor, I'm a real estate investor.
A real hustler.
Yeah. And then people would be like, oh really? How many properties you have? I was like, none. So they would be like, no properties.
Passion is the driving force and mindset.
Yeah.
The mindset to say, you know what, money is not going to stop us from having this business.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's how I built a huge real estate portfolio. If I thought about if I had the money, it would have never happened. Never. And that's one of the first things people always tell me. Oh, I have no money. I have no money. And I try to teach people, you know, just look, focus. The universe will give you what you go out and get.
One of the things that I love about Darron is that he's not selling fantasies, you know. He actually wants to help people. He wants to. He's someone who goes out of his way to help others. Even if that help means telling you that what you're doing is not right. I've heard it many times. I'm going to ask the question. You're going to keep doing this thing. I'm going to say, Darron. And you say, oh. And then you're going to smile and say, oh, I just made $1,000.
But it's not true and I can't do that. I can't. There's certain things I can't do. And that's one of them. I can't. Huh?
No?
No, I can't.
Alright, so we're not doing it then.
I can't do it.
But it would have been good though.
But it's not true.
Play on words, right? But it's not going to be in the interview though.
I know.
So it doesn't have to be true.
I prefer not to do it.
Alright, let's try something different. He's someone who will not tell you what you want to hear, but he will tell you what you need to hear. And we all need mentors like him. In our world where everyone is trying to get a word in, it is important to remember that what you say has power, and learning how to express yourself is a skill that transcends your everyday job. For this reason, I'm proud we were able to get Benjamin Hagwood to talk to us about the importance of proper communication.
A lot of people think of debate and they think of debate as arguing with someone else. I think debate is different. I think the first thing debate does is it teaches you how to listen to someone else's opinion. It's two sides having a conversation on a set topic that they have different opinions on. And it's not about beating the other person into submission. It's about trying to establish the most logical, concise, or inspirational speech you can come up with to convince some other people that you might be right. The world right now feels so divisive for no reason, right? Okay. Everyone wants to argue about everything. No one wants to listen to anyone else's perspective. And debate says, stop for a second. What would happen if you have to defend something that you don't believe? Well, the first thing it does is it teaches you empathy. You have to, in order to be persuasive, right? Like if I just believe that cats are bad, if I just believe cats are evil when I do what I want to talk about, I can't convince you that cats are good unless I somehow learn to empathize with people who like cats, for instance, and then use that as a persuasive skill. And that's what switching sides does. It forces you to look at the other side's arguments, find ones that you find compelling, although you disagree, and then use those in a way to persuade other people and that your side, your perspective is correct.
Awesome.
And that's obviously transferable, right? Like we're trying to get a job. Sometimes you may have to say things to your boss you don't want to say.
Yes.
You know, you want to go to that school. You want to go on a date with someone. Sometimes you just got to put on the happy face. And debate gives you all those life skills, which is why I love it so much.
That's true. Yeah, and I can think of many ways you can apply to your life. And last but not least, one of the main messages of Profile is knowing that we are a part of a community and that we have to lift each other up. Someone who understands this perfectly is SARA GILLOOLY.
For me, it was really always been really important that I have a great impact. You know, whether it's helping that family move from a different city to single girl that's renting for 10 years, but now she's ready to buy. Whatever that looks like, I want to be there, and I want to make sure that that person's not scared.
You reached out to a community.
Yes.
And asked them, hey, I'll support you.
Yeah.
I will promote you. You remember that?
I want the Black community to be lifted, and I think it's really important to do that. So in my head, I was like, how do I do this? How do I do this? And I've been, thinking about this for a while, and I was like, you know what? Why don't I do what I do? I want to promote other people. Why don't I just say I'm promoting Black entrepreneurs like yourself? Every time I've done that, and I've gone down that more difficult path, which this is not difficult, by the way, but when you go through those things, you come out of it on the other side better. And you have to see how much what you're doing is actually affecting people. And if it's not affecting change, you need to look back and say, okay, how can I do more, or how can I help in a different way that's going to help?
Because at the end of the day, you want to help people.
That's right.
That's a goal.
That's right.
I can see with certainty that we have accomplished a lot with this first season. A lot of things were uncertain at the beginning. First of all, we were in the middle of a global pandemic, and our recording space did not allow for virtual interviews. Doing in-person interviews was necessary and was going to be a challenge. However, we didn't let it stop us. We did everything we could to keep everyone safe, with minimal people in the studio, our crew members wearing masks at all times, and making sure we could remain physically distant. At a time where things were turning upside down for most of us, and so many people's lives have been affected by COVID, I hope Profile and our guests can provide some guidance for how they have overcome their challenges, and just know that you are not alone. Profile has opened many doors for us. I've been able to network with so many amazing people, and the list keeps growing, expanding every day.
The essence of life, we're all on a journey, and we encounter different people, different things. But if we work on our journeys together, even though we all have our own paths in life, but when we are together, it makes the journey a lot better.
It makes me very happy when people reached out to me to say their lives have been touched by one of our guests, that they would like to come on the show and share their story, or that they have decided to take some steps towards their future because of this program. Profile is a result of all of you, and please know that we do not take your support for granted. Thank you for watching us. Thank you for giving us your feedback. Thank you for supporting, for sharing, for liking, for everything that you do to make us a success. We couldn't have done it without you. So thank you. Now, who is ready for season 2? Sure, not me. I would do well with 2 weeks vacation.